Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Stebo and I'm back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about calorie deficit, calorie surplus, and giving some background knowledge on both of those things. I've been getting some questions about just how to trigger a calorie deficit, how to get into a calorie surplus, what are calorie deficits, what are calorie surpluses. So I'm going to go into a lot of that in this video. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. If you fuck with the video, like the content, and you like me, please show some love. And without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so let's first start off with a calorie deficit and what that is. So a calorie deficit, actually I'm going to start it off like this. You have a certain calorie intake, and to calculate that, I'm going to go into later how to calculate that, but you have a certain calorie intake. Say my calorie intake is 2,000, right? That would mean I'm very lightweight, which that's not my calorie intake level, but say it's 2,000, right? So calorie deficit is anything under that two. Say if you go 500 calories under 2,000 and you maintain that over a long period of time, you are now in a calorie deficit, and your body's going to adjust. So you're eventually going to have to keep going lowering your calorie intake to keep your body in a calorie deficit, and that's how you maintain it. You just have to be consistent with it and keep it over a longer time. All right. Now, calorie surplus is the polar opposite. So basically, you have your normal intake amount for your body weight, and you want to put yourself in a calorie surplus. You want to be intaking more calories than you burn. That's how you do that over a consistent period of time. Your body's going to adjust, like same way how it did in the calorie deficit. Your body's going to adjust when you're trying to get into a calorie surplus, but you have to make those adjustments as well and stay consistent with it, and you will put your body in a calorie surplus, and that will basically allow you to gain either muscle or fat. Now, gaining fat is not always bad, because it's good fat and bad fat. The bad fat is the yellow fat that you see. You might see, if you saw any commercials or anything growing up, you might see this big old blob of yellow squishy looking fat. That's the bad fat. And then there's this good fat, which is kind of like a darker brown, and that fat is used for energy. That's used for a lot of the energy that you need throughout the day. So that is kind of like your stored energy, and it's good for your body to have that natural good fat. You know what I mean? So gaining fat is not always bad, and you can also gain muscle. And I know that's what a lot of people want to do, is gain muscle. So putting yourself in a calorie surplus, it may sound, counterintuitive or whatever the word is, but it may sound bad, but it's not always bad, because you could be gaining muscle, you could be gaining some good fat. So yeah. All right, so let me talk about what a calorie is. A calorie is just the amount of energy that is released when your body is breaking down a certain amount of food. So say if you're eating a meal, maybe some canes, and that's about 2,000 calories, right? Excuse me. The canes is about 2,000 calories, right? So your body is going to be releasing energy based on those 2,000 calories to be able to break it down in your body. And when your body is breaking down and going through that digestion, it's going to feel like you're sluggish, all of that, because you're intaking a lot of calories all at one time, and your body's using a lot of energy. You know what I mean? So that's why a lot of people get sleepy after they get and eat food like that. You want to stay away from all the fast food, all the dirty eating, and you want to just eat clean if you're talking about losing weight, and if you're talking about getting in shape. You first have to correct your diet. If you're eating fast food on a regular basis, consistent basis, you don't want to do that, man, because at the end of the day, you're going to regret it when you are in the bed, you wake up, and you don't feel sluggish anymore, but you realize, I just ate that whole thing of canes, man, and it'll take a toll on your body, and you'll start to regret it. It gives you that shame, you know what I mean? Because I know a lot of people have a lot of shame after they eat, because they know they shouldn't be eating the stuff that they eating. And sometimes it's addicting. I get it, and I had to go through it too. I was addicted to a certain type of food, but you have to go through that, and you have to face all your problems head up, and you have to be very disciplined. You know what I mean? Because it takes a lot of discipline to separate yourself from bad habits, and then once you separate them, you have to be consistent in order to develop new habits. You know what I mean? So you have to do that for yourself in order to grow. Alright, so I'm gonna give you the perspective, my perspective, because that's really the only perspective that I can give you, and the best way I think to explain how to put your body in a calorie deficit is to tell you how I did it. So, how I put my body in a calorie deficit. So basically, I tracked my resting metabolic rate, and to do that, basically you take how much you weigh and multiply it by 11, and then you subtract it by how active you are, in the gym working out throughout the week. And the numbers for how active you are, if you're sedentary with 3 to 6 days of lifting, that's 1.3 through 1.6. All right. If you're lightly active with 3 to 6 days of lifting, that's 1.5 through 1.8. All right, you're in that range. If you're active with 3 to 6 days of lifting, that's 1.7 to 2. You're in that range. And if you're very, very active with 3 to 6 days of lifting, you're in the 1.9 to 2.2 range. All right, so you're gonna take your weight, how much you weigh, your body weight. You're gonna multiply that by 11, right? And then you're going to multiply it by your activity rate, right? So that will give you your resting metabolic rate, and then that is your number of daily calorie intake for your body weight. And to put your body in a calorie deficit, you want to go below that number. So say my resting metabolic body rate is 2,000. I'm gonna keep going with that 2,000 number. Say it's 2,000. If I want to trigger a calorie deficit, I'm gonna probably lower it down to 1,500 and be consistent with that for about a week or two, and then reevaluate, because by that time your body could and could not be adjusted to that, and maybe you want to reevaluate and go lower than 1,500. So that is what will put your body into a calorie deficit, okay? And vice versa. If your metabolic rate is 2,000 and you want to put your body in a calorie surplus, I've never put my body in a calorie surplus, but I know how to do it. So if you want to do that, one, you're going to have to intake more calories than you're burning. So you have to keep track of how many calories you're burning and how many workouts you're doing. And you might have to eat until you are full and uncomfortable on a consistent basis. That's just what you have to do if you want to put your body in a calorie surplus. Usually that's for bodybuilding, and that's for people who want to, grow for shows or grow for looks or mass and stuff like that. If you're skinny and you're looking to gain weight, that's usually for those type of people. But if you are just trying to lose weight, calorie deficit is where you should go. But if you're trying to gain weight, if you're very skinny, calorie surplus is what you need to look into. So do your own research. Don't just take my word from it. I'm just a person to give you, I'm giving you that first giblet to then go on and do more research and find your own research and proof, and not just take my word. I never want you guys to just take my word, because at the end of the day, I'm a human just like you. I could be wrong about certain things just like you, and I don't want you to ever trust me, because I don't want you to ever trust anybody out here on the internet that could be providing false information. I want you to always do your research when you are, listening to people on YouTube, because it's a number of resources on YouTube, and it's a lot of people giving false information. So I want you guys to be very aware and informative, and protective of your brain, because you just don't want any type of information just in your brain and in your thoughts thinking, because it could be wrong. And if you come across the wrong person and they check your ass, you'll look dumb. I'm gonna just be straight up with you. You look dumb because you think you know what you're talking about, but you really don't. You know what I mean? So do your research regardless of what I'm saying, because I might just be giving you the wrong information. Shit, I might be giving you the wrong information. You never know. So do your own research for yourself. And yeah. So that's the calorie surplus, that's calorie deficit, and calories is just the amount of energy that is released when your body is breaking down whatever food you ate. So that is it for this video. I explained what a calorie is, what a calorie deficit is, what a calorie surplus is, how to trigger your body to be losing weight naturally and put your body in a calorie deficit, and how to trigger your body to enter into a calorie surplus. Alright, so if you have any more questions, leave them in the comments. I will respond, and I might even make videos depending on what questions that I get. And if you have any comments, concerns, or questions, just leave them down there and I'll respond. And make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.